Everybody, this is the ARPA or American Rescue Plan Act committee meeting, the video teleconference, October the 8th, 2021. We welcome everybody. So we call this meeting to order. This meeting, the first item on the agenda is a very exciting announcement for both Squire Booth and Squire Moore, especially Squire Moore, who has been pushing for this for a long time. We have received a announcement from the Frankfurt Plant Board that they want to do and will procure monies for broadband in for the unserved and underserved in all of Franklin County. They are going to ask us to get a letter that we would commit to this. We would commit 1 million ARPA money this term and 2 million next term, which would be in March of 2022, for a total of 3 million. Their board would put up 5 million, which would be a total of 8 million, and the total cost, their estimate on the cost would be 16 million, and they would go after infrastructure and broadband monies of another 8 million themselves to secure the project.
And what are you saying this term? You mean this fiscal year?
ARPA comes in two forms, two payments. And so we have already committed and have in hand $5 million, and we committed 1 million. So they're asking for that 1 million, and then next year in March, when it comes back, that we commit 2 million from that 5 million towards this project. So for a total of $3 million, they are going to invest 5 million. They're going to do the applying to the state and securing the monies. Of course, all of this will be contingent upon in the end on whether they do it or whether they can get it or not. But there's a lot of variables whether they'll be able to get it, but over time we do think they'll be able to get it. I will say this, that it is my opinion, and I'll say it and let you all discuss, but it is my opinion that the plant board, being a local entity, would be the best ISP provider, for the reason that the people that run the plant board are from our community. And they do now have a county representative on the plant board, which is thankful, and we will continue to push for that. But there is a county representative on the plant board now.
Which one is that?
Steve Mason. And
Right.
So with a local provider and the need that is huge out there, that's what we have on the table. And so I'm pretty excited about that, Lambert. I know that it's great news. They wouldn't promise me what area they would go first in, but here is the biggest piece of it, and I say to you all, this is the easy part. The hard part is going to be every magistrate will be expected to go door to door and help get those easements. I think you've been doing some of that. You've been talking with your neighbors. We do know that they've already done a trial run on how to do it in Shadwick Ferry. They've just about completed that in the piecemeal area. And Scotty Tracy and Chris Squire were very good about trying to get the easements. And so getting the easements is going to be the hard part.
Yes, I've asked the CAECO and all of the conferences I've been to have a session on easements, and it's been ignored. And
Well, that's a great idea, Marty. I think I'll help you push that. I didn't know you were pushing for it, but I think that's a great idea because that is going to
Be
be,
the hard part.
that's the hardest part, and that's going to be the piece of the puzzle that will all have to work very hard. So that's a great idea, Mark.
Thank you. When is this effort,
So here's the process. What they're gonna be on our fiscal court meeting next Thursday. And they're going to ask us for,
FPB?
yes, they're going to ask us for a resolution that we want to use them as the ISP provider. I see Rick Sparks on, and so we'll need to, Tamara, you and I and Rick are going to need to talk about how we write the resolution. Of course, it'll be a non-binding, but they will have to do what they have. They'll have to make the commitment and go after the funds. Unfortunately, right now, there's only 50 million in the pot up until January. In January, there's roughly 300 million. So the second opening of the broadband funds will be the key to it at that point.
Well, FPB has a mind of their own and they ignore everyone else. I don't like them. I
Well,
don't have,
you got your choice between Comcast, that is out of Dallas, Texas.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's who you got. So if
They
you want to,
bid on it?
and they haven't bid on it, but they'll come in, and that
Ah,
if you think the plant board's bad, then wait till you try to deal with Comcast.
Yeah, you get complaints from anything.
And I think there's everybody's-
Complain about something,
Yes.
and it's not always the provider's fault.
But we're all gonna really need to be on this page. I hope that you would not say that as we start moving in this, because we're all gonna have to. This is for all of Franklin County. So this is we have over 2,000 that are unserved and underserved that need.
well, let me say this. The Frankfurt Plant Board will be in charge of that effort. I heard that from the local issues conference, and some county judges are upset about it. At least one.
Municipalities being in charge.
No, the ISP that is awarded the money will decide how it's spent and where it goes and everything. They are the people that call the shots, the ISP that wins the bid or.
Well, I'd rather have somebody here in Kentucky, here in Frankfurt, doing it than somebody in
Texas.
Texas or China or wherever.
Well, that's a good discussion. Tell me why you would think that the ISP provider that is putting the construction of the broadband itself wouldn't be in control of that money. Why would they not? Why would we want to be in control of the money?
Because we're the legal body of the county.
But if we're the legal body of the county, and if we build something, we hire somebody to build it, we're the legal body of the county, and they build it. So why would that be any different?
Well, it was of concern, and it concerned me because the experience I've had with the Frankfurt Plant Board. Of course, I am a progressive, and I want to have progressive policies like not depending on fossil fuels and things like that. Of course, that's a different area, but they have a lot of areas that they control, and they have so much money now. They could pay for the whole thing themselves without any extra money. They spent $11 million on that building that they have and paid for it in cash. I don't trust it.
Well, okay, so if you vote against it, then I'd ask that you give us another alternative I don't know what you want, but you
I'll
need to
try
answer to the public and say, I'll be honest with you, Marty, it's, if this goes down, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I would much rather be able to call somebody here in Frankfurt about a problem I'm having with my internet than somebody in Texas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Up there, I don't,
Well, I'll go along with you and your opinions.
And one of the things, Spargo, that we talked about doing is, if we're able to structure it, well, we don't give them all of the money up front, do it in drawdown phases as certain areas of the county are completed.
Yeah.
So we still have
We
control.
have control of that.
Yes, and they
Yes.
could come here and report to us the progress that they're making, and we could do payouts upon that. That's one of the things that we were talking about, because we don't want to let loose any, the
no, we
ARPA money
can't.
all at one time.
No, we're not just gonna send them a check for $3 million, okay, you do it. It will be as services are completed. And they are applying to the state as an ISP for 11 different sections of the county.
Oh,
So if one doesn't go, they can still continue to get it out to other areas. And then they said that they will look for other monies to get that one or two or three that didn't make it, whatever. If that is the case, to continue to look for monies to get those.
well, if we have control of the money, then it's
I think
good
they
enough.
already have fiber optic out to the Oklahoma school.
Do they?
I think they, seem like they did to the old big sales school, maybe not. Thinking they did.
And I believe they're starting. for
And there's
the-
some people along the way that were allowed to put on.
Oh, they were.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
Counselor Sparks, are you on?
Yes, sir. I'm just observing this morning. Waiting to get my homework assignment, to be honest with you. Good morning.
So, but can you elaborate about Shadrack Ferry and broadband that's being put in out there?
The last place that I left it was the plant board was in the process of installing it. They haven't made it past maybe the 1,000, 1,200 range, but when I don't know about the progress of the time frame, but I know they haven't completed it and made it all the way through, but they have got easements and stuff. But that's all I know offhand, Judge.
And so this RFP money wouldn't go towards anything that they've already started out in the county.
okay.
There are some residents who have it, some residents who don't, but everybody's kind of postured up to get it. But I don't know the time frame or the location. I would be remiss to speak to that.
And so let's be clear, just because they put it in, doesn't mean that you can't go with somebody else. If you wanted to go with DirecTV or you wanted to go with if there's another provider out there. You're not, I think what they look at, what we heard the other day was they're assuming about 70% would hook on. So there'd be 30% of the people that would go to another provider or not at all.
And the rates would remain the same for the new customers that they extend out to, as the customers that they currently already have service to.
Okay.
All right. Ann, Robert,
Yes. After listening to discussions with all of the internet service providers that are currently in Franklin County, because we've been able to have conversation with each one and kind of doing some background research, I really feel like this is a positive step for us. I know that, people in the community have said for years, well, I've had this problem, I've had that problem. But the thing about a municipal utility is when you have a problem, you have a voice. You get to listen to their board meetings. You get to have a say in who sits on as representation for the community. With a private internet service provider, you don't have access to any of their decision making or any of their planning. That's solely for profit and private meetings. with a municipal utility, you know, a large part of that $16 million, we hope, project, those funds are going to stay in our local economy, support local jobs. I think just about everybody knows people who work for the plant board. You know, those are our neighbors, and you know, that's support and a good relationship between the public utility and the local government and the community. You know, there's always going to be differences of opinion, but at least with a relationship like this, you're able to express that. And, you know, the public is able to be aware of the problems that are being discussed and offer their opinions on different ways to go. So between that and a private company, there's a world of difference. And that's why I agree that I think this is a great step. We also know that the price that that Scott County has put in their contract for internet service for the county. This is the same amount that we're being asked. So we know we're not being asked an exorbitant amount above what we would probably get from a private company. And the goal of the plant board, if they receive this contract, and they'd be bound by a contract, so we would have a lot of say in what's going on. Their goal is going to be Franklin County, where some of these national internet service providers are going to have a queue of projects lined up that they're concentrating on. And I think with the plant board, we're going to get their flexibility to provide what our local community needs, instead of just being a cookie cutter project that's going on in so many communities across so many states across the country because of all this money that's available. So, you know, that would be my 2 cents and why this would be a good decision.
Thank you, Annie. Robert?
I saw him leave when I came in.
Robert left. Okay.
No, sir, I'm right here.
Oh, good.
Thoughts?
I'm sorry.
Thoughts?
Oh, in my discussions with the engineers in the telecom division, they already have a plan, and they've already looked into expansion into the county. By going with the plant board on this project, we keep employees and residents of this community working to help support our economy and to help their neighbors get a quality product. You know, the plant board is you know, they're ready to go on this. So I agree with going with the plant board. I think it's a smart move. I think it's an opportunity to build a relationship with them. And so I would highly recommend that's who you choose.
Andrew, you've been, Robert, Ann, and Andrew have all been part of the process of interviewing, sitting down, talking with Comcast, AT&T, and the plant board.
Yes, sir. As I've shared with some people on this call before, you know, I'm a plant board telecom customer myself, and my family has some property out of state, and I've helped them with some telecom internet issues at their property out of state with a large national company, telecom company. And the difference between dealing with the two from a customer perspective is night and day. You know, it can be pretty frustrating. You walk in and, you know, your internet's off, your cable's off, and you have to speak to a computer that's, you know, somewhere far away. You know, I've had, you know, plant board's always been responsive. The techs have always been great. Of course, we work with them here at the county, providing some telecom services for us. And they've always been very responsive. And I just don't think we're going to get that with a national company. That's not been my experience. And we have some telecom services here with large telecoms. And like I said, the customer service, you know, I understand concerns, and we all have those from time to time with the plant board, but on the whole, I've been a lot more. The plant board's always been, you know, I can call the superintendent telecom right now if I had to. and speak to them
You mean the plant board?
at the plant board. I can't do that for any of the large companies. You know, I can't talk to them. They're, you know, so I think it's the right way to go for our community.
Any idea how many households we're talking about at 70%?
Over 2,000, they said that it would, that they see that are unserved and underserved. They're gonna have it, in their presentation, they'll have the number of households, they'll have a map showing the areas of Franklin County, on Thursday for us.
Good, good.
We also asked them if they could bring some pictures and show what the disturbance looks like for an easement for broadband, as opposed to what people have in their heads as what ground disturbance there is with an easement. It's different from another utility, just ground disturbance. So we wanted them to show what that looks like and hopefully put some people's mind at ease.
That's a great point, Ann, because you had heard, and I'm sure Lambert's experienced them coming
Yeah.
through the yards too, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
And so
And that was to no benefit of Franklin County, most.
That's
of
exactly
what I
right.
Went through out there.
but the common thought would be, and to be honest with you, I had the same thought too, because I haven't seen it, would be that you would have this, like a sewer line ditch
Yeah,
this wide, 2 feet wide and 8 feet deep. And they were saying, oh, no, it's just a few inches wide, and they come back in and cover it back up and a foot deep or something like that. And it's not as invasive as you might think it would be.
Well, I am outnumbered in this, so I'll go along with you, but I still don't trust them. And I want you to remember that
Okay,
when problems arise.
okay.
She's
Well,
gonna
problems are gonna
have
rise
them
no
out there
matter.
where you're at.
Problems will arise.
You're not on plant board where you're at, are you?
Yeah, she's playing for
I just,
No, you're on
yeah, I
Bluegrass,
use it
aren't
for
you?
my internet, that's all.
it. Have you been happy with your internet service?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's what this is.
that's what this is.
Well, good.
Do you want to make a formal motion?
I make a motion.
If we do a resolution, how do you want to?
We do a resolution in support
Yes.
of this. Okay, we've already started working on that resolution. So we'll have it ready for court.
Okay.
So, or more making
I'll make the
the
motion.
motion. Who wants to
I'll
second?
second it because I don't want, I'll take the pressure off Marty. And Marty, you can
Thank
give your thoughts. Once you
All
give
right
your-
now?
Yeah,
Well, the plant board, in my experience with them, they are an entity within themselves. They don't really care what other people think. And if the person that's on the board doesn't go along with them, they get off. It's better now since some people have resigned. Some of the employees of Frankfurt Plant Board, but they get upset and indignant and they're not agreed with. And I think that the board doesn't really control the employees of the Frankfurt Plant Board. That is my opinion. And I haven't seen anything different, but I will go along with you all because I value your opinions.
so you vote yes
Vote
to do
yes.
the resolution, Marty?
Yes,
Okay, thank you all. Since any other business for ARPA at this time? I will say this, we have, thank you, Andrew. We are going into phase 2, which is the final phase of the Simon House. It does look like we're going to be about 160,000 over the 200, it looks like it's gonna be somewhere in the range of about $360,000 when it's all said and done. I haven't gone back to the city yet, but I will come back to us.
By Thursday?
No, not by Thursday, no. It will be on into probably November. Once we get, I don't want to come back until we are sure what the cost is going to be. But right now, it looks like it's going to be somewhere in the range of about $350,000 for the total project, including the architect. But when we get those figures, I'm just throwing that out to you because I will also go back to the city and ask them to split that remaining cost with us as well, if they will.
We just put phase 2 out to bid. So once those bids come in, we have our bid opening, that authorization to accept will be on the agenda. So you'll know that hard number for the
That'll
phase
be
2.
on the-
Thursday?
November,
No,
November, I think, the first meeting in November.
Okay.
One other thing, on Sunday at 2:00, it will be a groundbreaking for the Humane Society at their new
Yes, I'm
lot,
going to the,
out there down from the credit union, Carpenter Farm. So you're welcome, all welcome for that. And so with that, do you all have any other business?
well, I was wondering about a report that's supposed to be made on ARPA, is that right? And is that coming due soon?
That's actually been extended. It was going to be October 31st, but the federal government has extended that reporting time to the end of December now.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Ann. That's a good question, Mark. That's a good question. Yeah, you heard that in the conference, and I had forgotten about that. Yeah.
No, if there's no other business,
Move
move
for
for
adjourn.
adjourn.
All right. Seconded, Marty?
Yes, I'll second.
All right. Yes, okay, all right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you being concerned, and this is an exciting moment for our community. Many people, I know that the magistrates have been hearing from the community about what's the status of broadband, and I think Thursday, when we present this to the court, this will be an exciting moment in a positive direction to help make our community better. So thanks, everybody, for watching, and we are adjourned. This committee is adjourned, and we'll see you later. Thank you.